We're about right on line.
Yeah.
About on time. Time is on my side.
Well, I hadn't gotten an email from Ed for a long time, and I thought maybe he quit, and then here came a couple more. You just never know. But
Never know.
Never know.
Never know. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Don't go away.
Okay, I won't.
Would you mind?
I'll stay put.
You just might ascend into the clouds. I know people like you.
Oh no, you grab me. You grab my feet and pull me back.
I know people like you. You just descend in the clouds.
Stand up for a minute. Oh. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 5:55. We're early.
I know we're 5 minutes. Really.
5 minutes.
Mhm. Well, you look like you're feeling pretty good. Feeling better anyway?
Yeah. I went to the doctor today and they want to, the cholesterol is real, real high, they said.
Oh, okay. Well, that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. That can be fixed with medication, right? And diet.
Yeah. He said you need to, I don't know exactly why it'd be so high.
I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, in terms of eating, I thought you have a pretty good diet.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I might eat too much cheese.
Oh,
I
and
suppose.
cheesecake and milk, right?
Yeah.
Dairy products.
Right. Dairy products.
Oh, okay.
So I might have to be a little bit more circumspect with that.
Yeah.
Circumspect.
Kind of cut a little bit down on those cholesterol things. But
Right.
I suppose it would be dairy. All the dairy stuff.
Could be.
Yogurt, cottage cheese, milk, all the good stuff.
All the thing that a good tourist loves, right?
It kind of shifts you over to lots of fruits and vegetables and grains, I guess. Right?
Right. Which I eat just a tremendous amount of, vegetables and
that's why I'm
salads.
surprised
Yeah.
that you would have that you'd have high cholesterol. You don't eat meat. You don't eat all that fatty meat that a
No.
lot of people eat.
I have healthy thoughts.
Yeah. Your big fat thoughts.
I have no health. Yeah, I got healthy thoughts.
Ah,
Good, fat, healthy thoughts.
you haven't had that problem before, though.
Nope.
Nope. This is a new thing. This is something new.
Yeah, COVID might have just really messed up the whole system somehow. Might have.
What did? Oh, the COVID.
Yeah.
Ah.
My eyes still aren't quite normal yet.
Well, then you'll come back.
Oh, yeah.
You could be slowly, but you'll come back. And your doctor's aware of that, right? That could be one of the problems.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Few minutes. I don't know. It's a pretty weird world we live in.
Oh my God, it is so weird.
It's just,
Oh Jesus.
it feels so out of balance,
So out of balance. It's bordering upon insanity.
Yeah. I turn on the news and I'm glad I laugh. I don't cry.
Isn't it great that we have a little bit of a knowledge of reality that we can go, oh, okay, this is okay.
This is okay. I go, this is okay, and I do my best to laugh,
Right.
not get concerned or worried about any of it. I go, okay, well, this is part of the process.
They're at it. Those people.
All those folks.
Can't live with them, can't live without them, right?
Those folks who want to sit on interstates and shoot at people, things like that.
Right.
People just don't know what to do with themselves anymore.
Salutations, my friends, and welcome to meditation Wednesday night. Nice to have you here. The mystery, the magic, the outrageousness of the star tetrahedron. The focusing of attention, the essence of masculine, focusing light, just like the projector at a movie, through the feminine of imagination feeling, which is the film, which then out pictures the holographic reality that we each meet within our reality. And so emanating then from out of the open doorway, when the star tetrahedron turns, at the very center of the doorway opens and source arises forth, which is then both imagination, feeling, and focus. So in the beginning, within the void, there was simply consciousness, as we well know, dreaming, imagining, questing, simply enjoying, if you will. I am in the void, just dreaming for an infinitely long time, and probably dreaming all possibilities, everything that could ever happen or be, dreamed it, and then finally reached the capability of that particular dream, so to speak, and then stopped and then simply asked, well, I've dreamed it all, but now what am I? And so that was then the vibration that emanated from out of the void. That vibration, as it came forth, we know that it then created energy, which created mass, which was then the upper triangulation. It then mirrored itself to create love, wisdom, and action, the feminine. And from the very center of the star tetrahedron was a dodecahedron. And a source emanated out through the facets of the dodecahedron, which is 12. It created then color and sound. It created 12 sounds, which are the whole, if you will, essence of the piano: A plus, A sharp, B flat, C, D, 12 sounds. But those then created the 12 colors. And so sound creates color. And so sound, color, and light is then the essence of creation. As that particular rays of energy emanated from out of the dodecahedron, each of us is on one of those particular rays of energy, one of those particular colors, if you will. It's a frequency, it's a vibration. And so I was working with a client the other day, and she was working with another individual doing some co-creative work in workshops. And she said, she was asking about her friend who was working with her. She said, are we really on the same path? And I said, well, yes, your work is something you can do together. It would be very efficient and pretty dynamic. At the same time, your friend is more within the darker blue colors, which is learning about the body, learning about emotions, what it is to be in the body, how to work through those emotions and feelings. And as one works through them, it then brings light to that darker blue. One lightens up. And in that lightening up process, one gains then information and wisdom. How do emotions and feelings and physical realities function within this dimension? So I said that's a very important part of her particular work. She is moving from the darker blue to the clarity of the more light blue, which is then the clarity of emotion and feeling, which is the divine feminine. So that's the ascension of her pathway. I said to my friend, you then are on more of the amethyst ray, which is the ray of spirituality. And so everything within your life is more focused upon spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge coming from the universe and wherever it does, if you will, migrate from, and then taking that information and being a way shower, someone who kind of sets the tone and sets the way that we'll be going. And so you are somewhat we might call the leader. But the leader is not really better, if you will, than that which is the darker blue that is working with the form, working with body, working with emotions. They're just different aspects of vibration. All part of source, all part of this one ocean of vibration that first emanated out. But then each of us has a particular unique pathway where we're bringing edification and knowledge to all that is by the particular frequency that we're on. And so I would then continue to say to her that as you go forth and begin to gather more people, because your spiritual light reaches out and it has a high enough frequency that it can then vibrate very quickly out, and people can experience it, feel it, they can acknowledge it, and they will then be drawn to you. And then when you do a co-creative workshop with your friend, you can give them the information, you can show them the pathways to higher intelligence, to spiritual union, to working with the higher dimensions, if you will. But then your friend, because it's her pathway to work more with the physical and emotional, she can then give them tools and wisdom because she will be working through those within herself. So there's nothing really wrong with anything that's going on within a person. They're simply gathering information. That's their frequency. And if we want to judge it or criticize it or dislike it, it simply is a reflection that there is something within them that is literally emanating out from us that is a similar vibration. And so if we're feeling a little bit maybe egoistic, our ego is a little bit out of balance, we can then say to our friend, well, you're in your ego as you're doing your work, and I don't like that. Now, if the person actually is in their ego, but the divine director who has the higher frequency simply brings her aside and in love talks about how we can be more harmonious, more graceful, more in equanimity with our work together, then it's not a judgment nor a criticism. It's simply you are co-creatively sharing information. But the important point is for each of us in our daily life and whatever we're doing in all facets, whatever we're disliking or judging or criticizing, there is a vibrational tone there that is being matched by a subtle vibrational tone within us. And the vibrational tone with us can be small. We can have a little bit of a dark blue energy within our liver, which would be a subtlety yet of frustration. Maybe when you're growing up, you were a very kind of spiritually illuminated child, but then your mother, father always wanted to send you to religious indoctrination. So you would be frustrated. So there would be an energy that would be holding that I really don't deserve my joy. I really don't deserve my reality of simply being free. And so if you then look out of the world and find someone out there who is then frustrated or even angry, and they can be very angry or quite frustrated with the world and the place they live within, and yet you don't like that and you condemn it or don't justify it with love, that vibration then literally stimulates this subtle vibration within you. So it's important to realize whatever we're disliking or judging or criticizing, it can be quite large that we're meeting in our life. And it doesn't mean we have that level or that amount of, if you will, the lower frequencies of dark emotion. It's simply very generously and very kind of a gift to us of helping us find and feel that subtlety so that we can then go in and find how can I love myself more and more so that I give myself the right to live my joy, not worried about what anyone might say, feel, or think about that as my parents might have. And so by loving that part of self, we're no longer giving ourselves over to someone else to validate us. And because we are now in love with self, honoring our own choices every moment, you'll no longer feel frustrated or angry or judging someone for being that way. You'll have compassion. You'll understand, oh, they're going through something. I can see that particular color frequency, or I can feel that particular color frequency of frustration or anger, because I sit quietly and with a feeling of compassion, I'm allowing my heart to open and reach out and touch that energy and move deeper within. I will see that somewhere in their life, they were denied their life and their reality. And in my compassion, I will then send love and light and joy to that which is the truth, the authenticity within. And as I'm validating authenticity, it then begins to vibrate that authenticity. And so we're not trying to change them, we're simply acknowledging the beauty and the grace that they already are. That has simply been covered over with someone else's ignorance and manipulation. And so we then, by working through that within us, we then change our frequency as well. we continue to move into the more refined light frequencies. So if we have the red of anger within us, which is kind of a maroon red, and we continue to purify it and bring it into its authentic nature, it simply becomes the fire of action, fire and passion. If we have the darker blues, which is an interesting word, I have the blues today, I'm sad or I'm lonely or I'm grieving, which that darker blue, we then bring consciousness and wisdom and love and find that part of us that felt that way as a child and bring light and healing to it. As it wakens up, the darker blue becomes then the light blue, which is the true feminine of creativity, of imagination, of art, of music. And so by simply changing our frequency, we begin to embody that which is authentic. And that authenticity is not something we're looking for. That's what people are always doing. They're out looking for something. Your soul is already the perfect embodiment of all of the frequencies of the divine. It is sacred. It is living in perfection. It is simply seeking to, through the clarification and the letting go of your own ignorant behaviors and your own ignorant thoughts and feelings, to download itself into the body and reveal the divine within you. So spiritual illumination is revealing the divine. It's not looking for something. It's simply letting go of the ignorance that clouds this perfect light of the soul that you already are. And so by working through some of these lower frequencies, the darker blue, the maroon reds, even if you will move into what we might say are the kind of the muddy greens, which is jealousy. As you move through jealousy, because you aren't afraid of something being taken from you, you're not afraid of something that is going to overshadow a relationship you might be in, and you learn to love yourself, it then becomes this beautiful, clarified, kind of light apple green, which is intuition, which is heart wisdom. And so by working through those things, you have simply brought light to the unconscious, light to the darkness, not by trying to change the darkness or get rid of it or dislike it, but moving through it and finding what wasn't loved. And then by loving the part of self and becoming the parent, the father, mother of the divine within, the darkness then becomes enlightened. That's exactly where that word comes from. I have become enlightened because I've learned to bring the light of the divine I am. It is already perfect. As I'm now living it within my being, the grace I am is going out and acknowledging the grace in everything I meet. And so I no longer judge or criticize. I might see and discern I'm living in a very chaotic world. No doubt about that. I might see and discern that there's a lot of ignorant behavior going on. That's just discernment. Now, if we say, I don't like what they're doing, then we're in judgment and criticism. We're simply discerning. There is ignorance taking place, but it is simply people in that ignorance moving through scenarios and scenes and life realities to gather information about how to eventually love themselves. They might not do it this incarnation. It might not be what they're here to do in that particular incarnation. They're here maybe working on more of the visceral, survival, instinctual emotions. But if we're not judging it or criticizing it, we're giving them space. We're giving them the compassion which literally flows from our heart, this golden sunlight that then acknowledges the authenticity that already lives inside of them. And it's that authenticity from us that vibrates the authenticity within them. And so we change the world and we make it this beautiful place of heaven on earth experience, not by wanting to change it, but by love. By so powerfully loving that we simply move with this golden liquid light through all the illusions of darkness. And that's all darkness is. It's an illusion. It's a counterclockwise spiral of live spelled backwards. Loneliness, fear, frustration, grief, sadness, feelings that we're putting upon people because they weren't loved. It was our incarnations where we were in some ignorant moment where we probably gave or performed that ignorant moment to someone else, and we're back receiving it. But then there's our opportunity. We're creating scenarios within this world that bother us, things that push our buttons. Those are the gifts of spirit. They're the gifts of your soul to give you information about what within me does not yet love myself, what is still in condemnation of that which I am, what is still carrying my karma from the past, and I keep meeting it in my life and my reality today. Karma is simply that which we have not yet loved. Very simple definition. If we have erred in the past and we are hurt or we have harmed someone, we weren't loving, we weren't compassionate. We come back and we receive that same harm, that same belittlement, that same profiling of ignorance, of racial, of archetypal, of the whole world out there that is so caught up in judging and criticizing each other. But when you feel that judgment or criticism, there's your opportunity. What within me is also vibrating to that frequency. I know I have a great heart. I know I love, but at the same time, what is the subtlety of this feeling of I don't deserve, or prosperity is not flowing, or my relationships don't honor me? There's your opportunity to feel that vibration. It's just a vibration. And as you feel it, and then gently bring it back inside, you ask, where does it live inside my body? And if you're quiet and you're gently focused, you begin to feel your body vibrating. You begin to quickly learn how to recognize where does that particular emotion, that lower vibration live within me. It's not bad, it's information. And as you settle into that information with golden light, which is what you're bringing into this equation, you're bringing the golden light of the soul, power, wisdom, and love. You're settling through the darkness, feeling the emotion, falling beneath it, finding that part of self that wasn't loved, and reparenting, acknowledging your right to live fully and completely in freedom because you love yourself, which then makes space within the body, within your aura, from everything around you, for more of the divine soul to reveal that which you already are, enlightenment. And so we're on a very fast track of enlightenment with the work we do, because as we acknowledge now that we are able to work with the star tetrahedron, which is already the frequency of the divine Christ mechanism, again, not a person, but a frequency of energy that has embraced both that which is light and that which is dark and brought them back together in compassion and love. That's the Christ frequency. But at the same time, because it's also the star tetrahedron, it's the mechanism of creation. As it is then functioning within us, then the open door within the heart, from out of it, the imagination, the feeling of source, that which you are. Source is not something separate from you. You are source, I am source. We are simply individual doorways, individual windows. And so when you're opening the doorway, it's not something that is different than you. It's but yourself from the void saying, now I can imagine through my star tetrahedron even more of the magnificence and the possibilities of that which I am. I am source that can now see myself ever more abundantly and fully and magnificently. And thus we expand the wisdom, the light of the cosmos. We are simply all God, the source as one, expanding the light, the consciousness, the wisdom of the cosmos. Everything is already moving in harmony and perfection. It's just our self-judgments, our criticisms, our dislikes that then separates us from living in that pure ocean of oneness that is breathing through all creation simultaneously. Through fish, through tree, through human, through planet, through star. All creation is one living ocean of consciousness. Source God, simply showing itself, what can I be through the many, many windows of opportunity that I of Source have created to simply emanate the uniqueness of that particular vibration that beautiful red, that orange, that yellow, that blue, that indigo, that violet, that each of us is then living upon rather than emanating from that frequency, particular prismatic beauty that is possible. And so we're all part of creation expanding. And the joy of it is we each have our own ability to change things rapidly within by simply using our meditative tools, our spiritual work, diving inside and finding these lower frequencies and not disliking, but moving through them and bringing light activation within. I am enlightened. You could never say a truer thing. I am enlightened. I'm letting go of the dust, of the calcification, of the darkness that was around me at one time, that is giving me information about how to love myself ever more, so that I can then stand free as a truly embodied Christed mechanism and be literally a way shore for so many people on this planet. And so we expand the possibilities in the light of creation. So a very exciting time on the planet, even though there is, again, the illusion of chaos, the illusion of things that are very out of balance, it appears. It's all part of the plan of the darkness awakening so that the light can move through it and then bring it into wholeness and oneness once again. So one of the things, of course, that helps us very dramatically in this work is our breath work. The reason being, when we're doing the star tetrahedron, we're literally allowing source to arise forth from the open doorway, which is within the heart. It is called the jewel in the lotus, and this is the dodecahedron. And it's from the dodecahedron within your heart that the 12 sounds and the 12 colors of creation arise forth. And so it's not out there, it's here. As you are breathing, you're literally seeing and feeling source, that which you are, God I am, bringing consciousness through the created star I am to be the living light within this world. So breath is an important part of our work. We'll do about 5 minutes of deep breath work, and I will simply take you through the whole sequencing. And don't forget to breathe. If you're not going to breathe for 5 minutes, I want to know about it. So sitting with eyes closed quite comfortably, we feel the body relaxing. Whatever I feel with clarity and attention becomes real. I feel the body relaxing. I feel love and joy moving around and through. I acknowledge I am the living light. And with deep in-breath, breathing oxygen into the body, but equally important, from the open doorway, source is arising forth. "360 degrees all around, source arises forth from within, like a beautiful sun, a star." And with gentle exhale, sparkling effervescent starlight simply flows in compassion and joy into this dimension. I am the gift of light. Summoning from the open doorway within my heart the breath of the divine. I am. I feel sparkling, effervescent, living light flowing. A light bulb emanates from inside out. shining light all around. Our electricity is spirit from within. Attention and emotion and feeling creates it to be living light. As I simply breathe profoundly and deeply. The divine and sacred being I am, already enlightened. I'm simply letting go of the illusions of separation. And the breath I summon from the open doorway, the purity of spirit, becoming living, sparkling, effervescent light within and all around me. The intention of feeling, I feel my body becoming more sparkling, cells changing, frequencies arising, light shining. I am the light. I am color and sound. The 12 sounds, the 12 colors, becoming the prismatic emanation of the divine and sacred I am. It happens automatically by simply imagining and feeling. It's only when we get caught up in the world and things around us that we think the light stops. We think we meet ignorant things in the world, but our light is not shining. Breathe and let the light shine. I am the light divine. I emanated from out of the void as a frequency of purity and grace, weaving my way like a tapestry through the dimensions of many realities, to be here now upon this amazing planet, to bring light and joy. I am the light. And a couple more deep, deep breaths, summoning source from the open doorway to become living light. And when it feels comfortable, to slowly allow yourself to come back into the now. It's really quite amazing that in one way this enlightenment business is really so easy. It's simply holding the mind steady and focused, the light of the projector, attention, upon the feeling of love and joy and peace within, which would then have to happen. It's when the mind begins to wonder, or the mind gets lost, or the mind begins to think about the past, or what happened to me, or what should I be doing. We're no longer feeling love and peace. And so then that which is the unconscious can vibrate out and then mirror back to us things that bother us or dislike us, which is why we continue to practice more and more, holding the mind steady, focusing the light upon love and joy and peace, the magical child within, dancing, sparkling, effervescing. If we did that 24/7, it would be so. So simple in one way and challenging in another. So I'll take you through the sequencing of the star tetrahedron. Upper triangulation, divine power, vibration, energy, mass, mirroring, love, wisdom, action, power and love unified, allowing from the open door within the middle, source to arise forth, and then from the prism to refract, reflect, and remember what we imagine and feel. I am the creator. I am. So let's go ahead and close the eyes once again and feel the body relaxing. Being once again aware of the breath. Knowing and feeling from the open doorway within the heart source is always arising forth, a breath of purity when we simply acknowledge and feel. Then we gently bring our attention to the area of the brow chakra, right between the eyebrows, and drawing a line straight back within the approximate center point of the head, the pineal gland. We ignite the light of the soul, purity and peace. By holding attention here, we feel the light increasing, filling the mind and the brain with sunlight and love. We can gently focus the light to the heart chakra at the sternum and illuminate what already exists, star tetrahedron. There's one within the heart. There is one within the brow chakra. One focuses light and one focuses love. Together it is the Christ mechanism, the field of golden sunlight and peace. Upper triangulation, it wants to move from left to right, focusing on power and attention. The lower triangulation, imagination, love, gently moving counterclockwise, right to left. As it feels comfortable, you can work with the star tetrahedron in the brow, and then around the one in the body. But becoming one and the same, it just gives us a chance to hone and refine our focus when it's within the brow chakra. I will join with you, and we will create magnificent light streaming out, bring more love, peace, and joy. I am the light. doorway open to the light I am, shining all around. Slowly allowing yourself to come back more and more into the moment of the now. I think it's interesting that little quote in the Bible, don't let your light be under a bushel basket. Well, the bushel basket is just the ignorance and the misperceptions that we hold. The light is already there, so we can just let go of the misperceptions and be the light, my friends. Thank you very much for coming and dancing in the light, and we will see you very soon. Peace and goodwill, kids.